Welcome back everyone, I go by the name Dark Flight and I'm here with part 2 of a 5-part series on the ins and outs of becoming the most effective light assault in your hex. This second part is going to be focused on movement and positioning. I've been playing PlanetSide 2 since the beta, so even if you don't understand what I'm doing as a light assault using the Icarus, I hope there's still plenty for you to figure out from the video. Knowing your environment is crucial to getting the upper hand in a fight. Being able to use the game world defensively allows you to maneuver your enemies effortlessly, which guarantees you more survivability and thus amplifies your effect on the battle. Firstly, as a light assault, your playstyle won't matter at all if you can't learn to use the environment around you to your advantage. I'm going to show you a few examples of how I use it. Here, the tech plant is overrun. Our job as a light assault is to get rid of the compromised vehicle terminals. Thanks to my minimap, I can see that I'm already spotted on an enemy motion sensor, so I've no doubt had people moving up to me even before I fired my weapon. Because of this, I make sure to reload while I have a clear chance. During that same reload time, I make sure to check my surroundings just in case there's any infiltrators ready to uncloak and try and shoot me in the back. We can use our jetpacks to throw ourselves into the air and get a temporary high vantage point. This allows us to look at primary pathways without putting us in great danger. Of course, anyone you see can also see you, so before jet jumping, find a piece of the terrain to guard at least one of your flanks. This is to minimize the chance of you being sniped out of the air. Ideally, the place you block from your field of view is the place you already know enemies will be. When preparing to move, make sure to briefly sweep your eyes over a large radius. Focus on moving shapes, as they're likely the things trying to kill you. As you can see here, an infiltrator is decloaking in the same location we previously blocked with terrain. If we hadn't done that step, we would probably be dead and would have failed our objective. I purposely jumped on an angle to hit the stairs. When I hit the stairs, I bounce, giving me extra momentum. This makes it much harder for the sniper to aim at my head and get a one-shot kill on me. With experienced players in pursuit, you don't really have time to stop and throw your C4 and confirm it's hit its target. Instead, we're going to have to throw our C4 while we're moving to our escape. Getting your C4 on target is something that's going to have to come with time and practice. One thing to note is due to server-side lag, C4 is thrown from your location a moment after you've clicked. To reach my target, I have to use my jetpack to jump high. The problem with that is when I reach the peak of the jump, I'll be floating still in the air, and in that time I'll likely die before I can detonate my C4. Luckily, the enemy have placed a sunderer right under my target. A lot of people don't know this, but in PlanetSide, you can get down to the ground much faster if there's something close to you to lock onto when you press crouch. Your character launches to the floor and glues to it. This sunderer will do perfectly, allowing me to dodge incoming fire and detonate my C4. I use the same dodge by crouch here when two enemies appear above me on the hill. Additionally, I land on the slope of the hill, allowing me to slide away at sprint speeds while also being able to return fire in aim down sights mode. A really common and excellent piece of cover in the game world is the capture point. You can see here, even though I do a suicide rush to the point in the last few seconds, I use the A point to cover myself from a Spitfire turret fire and a few players, allowing me to kill a heavy and a medic, clearing the way for a incoming max push. A point cover is also good for small scale battles, allowing you to easily take out targets with high powered weapons. Point breaching. Seeing as we're not taking any fire from that engineer turret yet, we know he has a pretty slow reaction speed. So we flash the point we want to push. Now, even though we know the turret has a slow reaction speed, we may be killed pretty easily by it if we run into its fire by accident. Luckily, this Max is getting revived, and the turret can see that, so he's just going to be spamming on that Max's body. Seeing as we know he's slow, and we know where he's going to be firing, we can run right past him and destroy him, hopefully before he can kill our Maxes. Remember, when C4ing in close quarters combat, your escape to cover should define your C4 throw, meaning you should not jump in order to C4, you should jump in order to get to cover and work your C4 throw into that jump. Unfortunately, in this example, even though we've wiped out their turret position, their shield regen, their max, and we've dispositioned their heavies and medics from the doors, our teammates are already all dead. However, this would have worked perfectly if we had a squad backing us up. On that note, make sure to watch out when you've cleared a point ahead of friendlies, especially if you've used a flank, because friendlies usually won't know you're there or know that the point is already clear. In PlanetSide 2, a lot of the buildings and cover have beveled edges. You see this here, where it has a slight slope? That's a beveled edge. Beveled edges are useful because, as you see in this clip, when you sprint off the edge, if you run on the bevel on an angle, you will be launched slightly to the side. If you engage your jetpack at the same time, you'll be doing a very, very fast glide, helping you dodge bullets and launch C4 much further than you would just normally throwing it. And absolutely remember to pay attention to your minimap. It is your most powerful tool. Use your minimap to find out how many enemies are chasing you and which ambush lanes you can lure them down to their deaths. Well, thanks for your time. It was a long episode and it could have been longer, but I believe we covered a lot of the most important things. Originally this was going to be the third episode, but I've changed my mind about a few things due to how well received the first episode was. Regardless, I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks. Without fucking myself. Oh god, no! No! No!